product featured in today's video was provided by NECA Toys for the purposes of this review. Hey guys, I am Pixel Dan, and today we're going to be checking out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles musical Mutagen Tour set from the folks over at NECA Toys. Or, as you guys probably know by a better title, the Coming Out of Their Shells Tour set. So this was originally slated to be the San Diego Comic-Con 2020 exclusive, but as we all know by now, the Comic-Con is not happening, but NECA still has these great toys that they're putting out, which have now basically become Target exclusives. So massive thanks to the folks over at NECA Toys for sending this along early so we can get a good look at it. We're going to open this up. I'm going to show you guys all the cool details, all the cool accessories, but I wanted to start here with the packaging first. Because one of the things that NECA is doing is, aside from releasing the 4-pack with the figures and the cool accessories, they're also releasing this separate accessory box. This is the limited edition con exclusive accessory pack. The way I understand it, this will be sold separately at Target stores, or if you're ordering this set on Target.com, you buy this together as a bundle. So this will come packaged with the figures there. And basically, this just gives you some additional accessories for the musical Mutagen Tour. One of those accessories is this t-shirt that I'm rocking right here. Check this out. It's got tour dates on the back. It's really fun. Definitely pays homage to that classic Ninja Turtles concert. It's really interesting, too, because it's kind of like going to be an interesting piece of history because it has 2 dates on the back, which are the dates for San Diego Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con. And we know that those are basically not happening at this point. I'd be surprised if New York is still happening. So it's going to be one of those weird relics where, like, we have this shirt with these dates for these events that just never happened. But also within this box, aside from the shirt, is also a tote bag, 4 guitar picks, a backstage pass, and a souvenir concert ticket. All really, really fun stuff. Now, I just have a sample box here. So mine has the t-shirt and it has the tote bag. Let me show you this real quick. Sweet tote bag. But I don't have the guitar picks or the sample ticket, unfortunately, with mine. But when you get yours from Target, you will have all of that cool extra additional stuff in there. It's really neat. Yeah, I checked inside the bag too. I just wanted to make sure they weren't there. But yeah, mine doesn't have those extra things. But again, I just have a sample box here. So really rad t-shirt, all this extra stuff. It's all just like an added bonus if that's something that you want to get. But this right here is our full box of our action figures, which is really, really cool. So I love the artwork right there on the front. It is fantastic. I did also note already, of course, this is called the Musical Mutagen Tour instead of the Coming Out of Their Shells Tour. I would imagine there was some sort of a rights issue with the Coming Out of Their Shells Tour name. The event was sponsored by Pizza Hut and everything. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a rights thing. I kind of love Musical Mutagen Tour. That's pretty sweet. The back of the box is pretty fun. There's like a cutout mask for Raphael's scary puppet face from those costumes. Also, I love that we've got like the track listing here. Just really, really cool stuff. So that's the outer box. We can actually just slide that slip cover off, just like so. And that reveals what looks like, like the tote, like the travel totes that would have all the instruments and everything on it for a concert. Just really fun stuff. And there's some really neat things going on here. Like I love the Foot Stinks sticker, like straight off of the old party wagon. I think that's fantastic. So some really fun little Easter eggs and stuff like that. So the tote opens up like this. It'll actually have little plastic seals, so you'll want to cut those first. But you can fold that open, and it reveals our action figures within. Look at these bad boys right here. So, of course, it's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, or would have been a Comic-Con exclusive. So it's got over-the-top, fantastic packaging. NECA did an amazing job once again with this. But now it's time to pull all these figures outside of the box and get a closer look at them. So let's do it. So before we pull the figures out and really get a look at them, I wanted to show you guys one more cool thing with the box here. Let me turn this around. You can see that I've already cut the tape to open it up. But what's really neat about this is if you fold the flap up here on the top, kind of fold these side flaps out, the box itself becomes the stage, which is really cool. You can see we've got like a screen across the top with the musical Mutagen Tour artwork on there. And you can see all the lights and everything behind the figures. It's a really cool box display. And for those of you that like want to keep them in the packaging, but maybe put this up for display, this actually displays really well. But I did also kind of want to show you this, because you can just remove the insert that all the figures are on, and you can get a better look at that stage there. So really, in theory, if you wanted to keep this box like this, it's just cardboard, but you could display your figures inside, and that's a cool way to kind of have the figures like standing on the stage as well. So pretty cool stuff with the box. All right, now let's go ahead and pull these guys out of here and get a closer look at them. All right, so we've got our coming out of their shells turtles out of their box. So let's take a closer look at them. I'm going to go ahead and start, as always, with the tape measure so that you can see that these figures measure about 6.5 inches tall, just shy of a full 7 inches in height. These are right at the same size as the previously released movie turtle action figures. And you might notice this, but you'll definitely see it more when we do a comparison later on in this video. But much of the bodies do just reuse the parts from those movie turtles. But we've got some new things going on here also, specifically with all the cool accessories and with those head sculpts. And we've got to start by talking about these amazing head sculpts. So NECA did an amazing job of capturing just how awful the heads on the costumes were from the Coming Out of Their Shells tour. And that's a good thing because the sculpts are amazing, but those masks were terrifying, and NECA really captured that with these heads here. You'll notice that they've got those kind of sunken in, very round, bulbous eyes, which are frightening. The masks are much different looking on these. They're very brightly colored as well. And then we got the really kind of creepy looking mouths with the teeth. And what I really love about this is that the mouths are articulated, which is something we have not yet seen for any of our NECA turtles. And it's amazing. I mean, it just looks so creepy, but so awesome all at the same time. You can open and close the mouths with the little hinge joints there. You can see all of the teeth. You can see the tongue. There's a nice kind of gloss coat on all of that, so it actually looks a little shiny. And it looks really good. I will say from the side, it does look a little weird sometimes when you've got the mouth open, but man, for the most part, I love it. I think that is such a cool addition to these figures, something that we didn't have previously. The other thing you'll notice that's different, of course, is that they are rocking their headsets from the stage show. Now, these do not appear to be meant to be removed. It's plugged into the side of the head. I can't pull these off. It's probably doable if you wanted to, especially for customizers. You're going to leave a hole in the side of the head. And then you got the little microphone coming down in the front. You've also got the little wire here, for the microphone wires. These are like a bendy material, very similar to some of the wires we've seen on NECA's alien figures, like some of the Marines. So you can kind of bend and flex that around however you want to, but all in all, these are really awesome. And you'll notice that the heads are the same across all 4 turtles there. They just have the different colored masks, but that does match up with what we saw on the stage show itself. So the highlight of these absolutely are these amazing vests that they're wearing. These are actual cloth vests, and they are just so very cool looking. Each of them are unique. You'll notice that Leo's got like the blue L, Raphael's got the R, he's also got like a little smiley face button. He's the only one that's got like that extra detail there. They've kind of all got their own little like logos, like little designs too. Donatello's rocking the yin-yangs all over the place there. Mikey's got like the orange patches with the stars. They're also like kind of glittery, like there's like a glitter worked into it, so they're nice and shiny, kind of like if they were rhinestones all over the vests, which is awesome. But the back of those vests is absolutely the highlight because it's got the Coming Out of Their Shells artwork on there, or the musical Mutagen Tour, as these are actually called. And then, of course, the figure's name is going across the top of it also. I love these. I think those vests are so very cool and just really make these figures stand out. Aside from that, you'll see that they're all wearing kind of the same kind of belts there, with like the cross straps with the rhinestones in them, but each of them have their little unique logos that matches what's on their vest, so like the yin-yangs or the weird little swooshes, and then the same with their knee pads and their elbow pads. Like, I love the fringe hanging off the elbow pads. This, of course, is just all plastic, but it's flexible, looks very good. And then they're also all rocking some leg warmers, which are actually made of a cloth material. Check that out. Very cool. And I love this too. Just a great attention to detail. All of them are wearing tennis shoes, just like the performers in the stage show, and they look like human feet that are tiny. So they're way too small to be their big turtle feet. They don't match up with the rest of the figure, but that's an amazing attention to detail because that's exactly what these turtles looked like running around on stage with normal human feet tennis shoes. I think that is absolutely amazing. You see we've got 2 peg holes on the bottom there. So yeah, the designs are just so weird, but so well done with all of these figures. I love them. So, articulation, we'll go ahead and run down that real quick, but like I said, if you've got the movie figures, you pretty much know what to expect as far as that goes. I already showed you the hinge jaw at the mouth, but otherwise you can also kind of turn the heads left and right, roll it all the way around. It is ball jointed there at the neck. You got the ball-like hinges there at the shoulder, so the arms can go outwards, forwards, backwards, swivel at the elbow. You got the bends at the elbow, which are really nice, even with the pads over there. Swivels at the wrist, hinge joints at the wrist. The torso does seem to be solid on these guys, but you got the ball-like hinges there at the thighs, so legs can go outwards, forwards, backwards, swivel them around there. You got nice double joints at the knees, which works really good, again, even with that knee pad on there. And then look at that, the ankles with them tiny little tennis shoes. You can bend them forwards and backwards. They don't really rock side to side very much, so it looks like that's pretty much all we get out of those. So the articulation is about what you would expect with these if you've had any of the other figures. They feel super solid. The quality feels really good. Like, they don't feel like they're going to break or anything like that. So really well done as far as that goes. Now, these guys do come with a ton of accessories, exactly like a Comic-Con exclusive should. So first of all, let's talk about the fact that we do have interchangeable hands. Now, this has been pretty common with all of our movie turtles so far, and you'll probably even recognize some of these hands. But basically, aside from what the turtles already have out of the package, we also come with 2 pairs of like the open hands, just like that. We come with 2 pairs of the thumbs up hands. So you can kind of mix and match these between the figures however you want to. You'll notice each of the figures are kind of have like hands that are meant for holding or playing their specific instruments. But if you do want to swap parts, all you got to do is kind of give a good tug on the hand and it will pop out at the wrist. They hold nice and tight, but you got the little pegs there. And then you can take the new hand and, again, give it a nice firm press. You will lock it in place. And just like that, you can change the hands on your figures to match up however you need to do so. So before we move any further, it's worth noting that there were a couple different looks for the turtles for the Coming Out of Their Shells tour. What we've got here with the vests and everything, that's basically how they appeared on stage for the actual performance. But there's also stuff like this VHS tape right here, which is the making of the Coming Out of Their Shells tour VHS. And you can see that they do look a little bit different here. Specifically, they're not wearing their vests. And we got this crazy star on Mikey's eye and this weird little swoosh thing on Leonardo's mask. Well, what's really cool about that is NECA gave you the option to kind of mimic these alternate looks for the characters. Of course, the vests are removable since they are just a fabric. So look at that, we can pull it right off there. And basically what you're left with on the figure is the way they look like on the cover of this VHS, for example. But what's really cool is they did also include those weird little eye patch things for both Mikey and for Leo. So I can take this little star thing and it actually just plugs right there into those crazy sculpted deep set eyes. Look at that, just like that. And, you know, we got Leo over here. Of course, you can match this up with any of the turtles. Like, all of their head sculpts are the same, so you can plug those onto any one that you want. But, you know, we can plug these little pieces on there. We can remove the vests, and that way we can pose these guys more like this alternate look if we want to. Now, it's not perfect because they are wearing totally different boots, you can see as well. The instruments are actually a little bit different than the stage instruments, but interestingly, they match up with the instruments that came with the set, so it's pretty cool. You do have a way to kind of mix and match parts to create some of the various looks of the turtles. Okay, so speaking of the instruments, here we go. We got a sweet guitar here for Michelangelo. It does have a soft plastic strap on there, which is very cool. That way you can get it to kind of fit right there over the shoulders. And the hands that are on him are like perfect for holding on to the guitar neck, which is very, very cool. Actually does look like he's strumming the guitar, which I really love. We also have a guitar for Leo here, which is super sweet. I don't know if this is probably a bass guitar. I don't know, it's only got one string. Does that mean it's a bass? I don't actually know. I thought those had like 4 strings, right? 3 strings? I don't know. I'm not a musician. But here we go. We got Leo here. You've got him rocking his own guitar as well. He can hold on to it there, which is very cool. For Donatello, we've got the sweet keytar, or just, you know, a keyboard. You can actually hang that, you know, like over his neck if you want to do that. That way you can pose him with his fingers playing. I love the way he's got like the fingers like he's pressing the keys, which is actually very, very cool for that. So there you go. You got Donnie with that. And then for Raphael, we have a couple different options here, actually. We've got his beat machine. I think that's what this is, right? So we can play his sweet beats there, which is awesome. And that's what we saw him using on the stage show. But again, if we're talking about this VHS tape right here, you see that on the cover, Raphael's actually playing a saxophone. And what's really cool is we can actually get rid of that little beat machine. And look, we've also got a sweet green saxophone there. All of these instruments are great. They're painted really well and everything too. And that way we can get Raphael with his alternate look rocking out on the saxophone. So you've got the different options with the different instruments, and I think it is so cool. And the final accessory that also comes with this is we got one of the cool little like frisbee pizzas. So like on the stage show, they use these. They were like foam pizzas. They would throw them out to the crowd as frisbees. This one's not made of foam. It's like a flexible plastic, but still, it's really neat that it's like mimicking one of the actual like merchandise things basically for the Coming Out of Their Shells tour. So that way you can have your turtles like ready to throw it out to the crowd or, you know, what have you. It's just a really fun additional accessory. All right, guys, it's comparison time. So I talked about those movie turtles and how they were definitely very similar. So I wanted to stand each of these alongside those movie versions. And it's just kind of funny looking at these side by side because holy cow, the heads are hilarious on the Coming Out of Their Shells figures. But you could see what I was talking about, right? With the parts being very similar and the bodies, with some minor differences there, especially with the accessories, the new heads. It's just really interesting looking at these all side by side. So there you go, my friends. That is a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Magical Mutagen Tour, aka the Coming Out of Their Shells Tour action figures from NECA Toys. As mentioned in the beginning, this was meant to be both the San Diego Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con 2020 exclusives, but with the pandemic, the conventions are canceled. I don't think New York is confirmed yet, but most likely it's going to be. So as of right now, these will be going on sale on Thursday, July 23rd, 2020, exclusively at Target. These are supposed to be in-store and online, but we all know how hard it's been to buy these things at Target stores. So they've had a hard time actually dropping these on the website the day that they're supposed to go live and at the times they're supposed to go live, and they're selling out instantly. I don't know what the stock is going to look like on these, if there's going to be a ton of them hitting the store shelves in stores. Like I said, these were meant to be exclusive to 2 different conventions, and usually there's a bunch of these in previous San Diego Comic-Cons, and since it was also supposed to be at New York Comic-Con later in the year, I don't know if that means that there's going to be another chance to get these later in the year. So the best thing you can do is just get ready to raid your targets. I would stay tuned to NECA's social media on Facebook and Twitter. And guys, good luck, happy hunting, and until next time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, leave me a comment down below, and please don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, my friends.